Hey everyone, this is Jerm and this is College Pro Tips, a series where I help those of you who are looking to go to college, currently in college, or are interested in college, or maybe you've heard of college. Just helping out, answering questions you guys send in, and offering the perspective of someone who has graduated successfully from college and is now working in the world. Today we actually have a question from one of you listeners. I won't say whose name it is, just to protect their privacy, but their question was, I've been accepted to my fallback school, and they list the name of the school, and have applied to two other schools. The first school is taking forever to get back to me when I applied in November. Please make a video with tips on how to contact them if I should and what to do in the meantime. Basically, he's been accepted into his fallback school, but his dream school he applied to in November, and they're taking forever to get back to him. So, what should he do? Now, first thing I would say is, correct me if I'm wrong, but even though you applied in November, January is not very late for colleges to get back to you with whether or not you got in. Your other school, your second choice school, may have just accepted you fairly early. I believe most colleges, you don't have to confirm that you're going there or not till around March or April. At least when I was looking into colleges, that seemed to be about the time frame. So I wouldn't worry necessarily yet, just because they haven't gotten back to you. But if you are dead set on that school, you could just call them. Just call the admissions office. Make sure like your paperwork and everything went through correctly. I mean, it happens. Stuff gets lost, stuff gets messed up, especially when they have thousands of applicants coming in. But I would definitely call. I mean, the only way to guarantee you don't know anything is just to sit and wait for them to contact you, which they may. But you can always call and just find out the status. They may tell you that they haven't told anyone they've gotten in yet. They may tell you they're still going through applicants. So I would definitely do that first if you're set on your first choice school as your dream school. So just call the admissions office and talk to them. Now, the meat of this video is going to be when I want to talk about where you said this school is your dream school. Now, I'm assuming you're a high school student or you have not attended college before, so this would be your first college, whether or not you go to your first choice or your second choice that has already accepted you. I've talked about this in a previous video, but the school you go to doesn't matter as much as a lot of people think it does. Numerous studies have been done comparing career trajectories and salaries of graduates who went to Ivy League schools compared to graduates who went to much cheaper state schools and all the schools in between, and there's much less of a difference than you might think there is based on how much you have to pay and how hard it is to get into some of those nicer schools. What does that mean? That means that you are a much bigger factor in how well you do in school, how much enjoyment you get out of school, and what your college experience is like than the college itself is. Just because you're going to a campus that has an awesome sports program doesn't mean you're going to be participating in sports, and it doesn't mean you're going to enjoy watching the games or have time to. Just because you go to a school that has an amazing gym facility or basketball courts and amazing student activities, it doesn't mean you'll be able to go to all of them, do all of them, and it doesn't mean you'll want to. You would be very surprised how much stuff most colleges have to offer you. Now, I'm going to exclude colleges with less than 1,000 or 2,000 students for this discussion, just because a lot of the times they don't have the funding to do major programs. But for most other large universities, I would say, let's say like maybe 5,000 people and up, they'll have at least pretty decent sports equipment, gyms, basketball courts, a pool to swim in. I mean, there's the basics that everyone has. A larger college might have much nicer ones, but most colleges will have something like that. Most of them will have student activities unions or student activity groups. Larger colleges will have more of them, but that doesn't mean that they'll necessarily be better. I'm curious why your first choice school is your dream school. I don't really know about what your interests are or what major you're thinking about. But keep in mind that you're going to change as a person in college, and that's good. College will change you. You'll rediscover that some of your priorities that you thought were a big deal aren't anymore. You'll discover new priorities. You might decide to do something completely different, and that's good. College is a very helpful part, or can be a very helpful part, of you growing up. It gives you a little bit more adult responsibility, but it doesn't throw the entire weight on you yet. So you have the opportunity to accept more responsibility, to start developing on your own a little more, but it doesn't yank the rug out from under you quite yet. You still have the support system of the dining hall and tutors and things like that. So I don't know why this is your dream school, but I'm going to challenge the notion that this is the school you have to go to. You can probably have a wonderful education at either of the other schools you mentioned. And again, I'm not going to mention them here just for your privacy, but they both are actually pretty nice schools. You're not your first choice, but the other two. Your first choice is a nice school as well, but unless there's a particular reason why you need to go to that school, don't feel too let down if you don't get into it. I hope you do get into it if you want to go, but don't be too let down. Don't feel like this was your chance at success and you've missed it, because you can be very successful at pretty much any school if you are willing to put the work in to make it a good experience. Now, something else I want to caution you. If this is your dream school because of someone else who goes there, don't go there. Don't go there because of a girl or a guy, or because some of your friends go there. Why? Because your education is what's important here. You are spending too much money and spending too many years of your life on this education for you to compromise its quality or all the possibilities you might have because of someone else. Basically, what I'm saying is, if that's your dream school because your girlfriend or boyfriend's going there, don't go. Not to say that you couldn't have a good time there. Full disclosure, my girlfriend went to the same school as me and we ended up getting married. But we are by far one of the exceptions. I've met way more people who went to the same school as their significant other or did something else like that. They went to the school because their friend was going to that school and many other reasons similar to that. They went for reasons other than it was what they really wanted and what their education really needed. And as a result, a lot of them dropped out and are still stuck with student loans. A lot of them had very lackluster experiences because they weren't choosing it for them. And, you know, I'm normally not a very selfish person, but I think when it comes to your education, again, you're spending so much money on it, be a little bit selfish in choosing where you go. Don't go for other people, and I think you'll have a much better time. And another thing is, if your dream school is a lot more expensive than your second choice school, I would still heavily consider your second choice school. I mean, you don't want to go into debt like twice as much as the other school's tuition just because you feel like your first choice school is going to be so much better, because you know you haven't been yet. Maybe you've been to visit, but you don't really know what the school is going to be like. I know from firsthand experience that the college weekends you go on, the tours you go on campus when you're still a high school student, those are very carefully sculpted to give you a not at all accurate representation of the college. They show you all of the amazing things the college offers, but you're not going to get to do most of it. If it's a large university, you won't get to do a quarter of it. They just show you the biggest and the best and the brightest and the coolest things to get you to go there. I mean, it's just marketing, and they're not wrong for doing it, but don't think that every single weekend is going to be like that, because most likely it isn't going to. There are some schools where that might be the exception, but another thing to remember is, while you should participate in things around campus and the activities and meet people and make new friends and all that, the primary reason you're going should not be for that. The primary reason you're going should be to get an education. And if that's not honestly your primary reason, if you can't be honest with yourself and know that that's the reason you want to go, you should really reconsider which college you're going to and if you're ready to go to college or not. This is too much money, too much time, and too big of a decision to make for the wrong reasons. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions you want me to answer or any comments about this video, leave them below, send me a message, whatever, you guys know what to do, and have a great day.